Hello everyone and welcome to part 3 of the custom RC Widebody C7 Corvette build. After hours spent assembling the chassis, building and modifying the body, and making some custom parts, the time has finally come to complete this project. In today's video, I'll be painting the car, doing the final assembly, and doing some driving. If you haven't yet seen the previous parts of this series, I'll be sure to leave a link to the playlist down in the description. So with that said, let's dive back into this project. As you can see, I have the car all mocked up with just about all the parts installed and fitting well, so I disassembled the body and got all the parts ready for paint. After a final wash, I painted the body and all the parts that will be glued to it, including the spoiler, grille, and even the windows, so the electronics inside aren't visible. This process went quite smoothly. I did end up having some dust that landed on the body, which I sanded away before applying the final coats. Here's a quick look at everything so far. I continued by painting some details on the body, including the vents and body lines. I haven't attempted to add body lines on too many cars previously, so I'm not the best at it. However, I think they've turned out alright. They might be a little heavy, but overall I think it adds some nice detail and the look has really grown on me. In addition to hand painting some details, I also used an airbrush and masking in a few spots. After that was complete, I next added the water slide decals. As I talked about before, this car isn't going to have the full racing livery, but instead is just going to look more like a modified street car, so therefore only some of the decals on the sheet will be added, just things like the emblems and a few latches around the back. At this point I could apply the clear coat. After that I moved on to painting the taillights. I backed them with some silver paint and also used a black Sharpie in a few areas that would be black on the full-size cars. I also added a few details to the headlights as well as the side view mirrors. Next I glued the tailpipe piece to this part that will be glued to the rear of the body. You might remember these brake rotors from a previous video. I removed the support structure from each, sanded, and then painted each rotor. I then glued them each to the wheels. All the parts that I custom designed and 3D printed for this build can be found as STL files on Patreon. It's a bit of a subtle detail, but they look great and make a nice addition. At this point the clear coat was dry, and after some final polishing, I began adding all of the additional parts to the body, starting with the windows and taillights. And finally, the body is complete and looks great with these additional details added. This was an all-around awesome build and I'm really pleased with how it looks. I love the yellow and black paint along with the staggered wheels and wide body. It looks like a C7 on steroids, and that's exactly how I wanted the car to look. Of course we can't end a build without doing some driving, and that's exactly what I did. I already drove the car in the previous video, but seeing it all painted and complete is awesome. I love the oversteer the smooth hard resin tires allow to occur in tight turns. Perfect for these foam mats. Like I think I said in the last video, I'll definitely be making more cars with these clear-coated hard plastic tires in the future, as they're a lot of fun to drive. As you can see, the car works great, and with the test drive complete, it's now time to go ahead and wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this build series as much as I enjoyed making it. Of course, lots more build content is on the way. If you've been inspired to do a similar build, be sure to check out the links to all the parts used and STL files below in the description. Thanks again everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.